Hi guys, and welcome to the third chapter of my how to sidestep guide. Today we're gonna talk about law, actually about both laws, as there is no major difference between them in terms of sidestepping. So it's kind of two in one episode. Okay, let's get right into it and check what Nobi told us to do while facing law. So Nobi says sidestep right, but watch out for Law's great homing moves. And I totally agree on that. I have to disappoint you guys a bit, as there is no perfect way to sidestep Law. You'll always have to guess a bit, but don't worry, we can add some structure to our guessing strategy, so we will not go totally random here. Yeah, I will get to that later on. First, let's see why sidestepping Lao is so hard. So mostly it's because of two of his moves, back plus 4-3 and back plus 3, back 3. Back 3 is kind of slow, and in some cases you can react on it and cancel sidestep into block, but it's impossible to punish it due to its pushback. So actually, if you try to punish this, you will most likely get whiff punished. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Back 4-3, that's a bigger problem. Back 4 itself can leave Lao in back turn position, and back 4-3 is a natural combo. So yeah, both of these moves deal massive damage, so you need to be very careful not to get hit with that too much. So that's basically what might stop you from sidestepping a lot. If you get hit by back 4 and Law stays in back turn position, yeah, things might get nasty, but we'll get back to that later on. Now let's go through his pokes and other abused moves. So first, down forward 1, or the extension down forward 1-2-2-1, or down forward 1-3-2. Okay, the first hit, easy to sidestep or sidewalk right, so that's quite easy to do. Can just go right. Sidestepping left is possible as well, but the timing is pretty strict and it's kind of random, so I wouldn't suggest to do that. The sidewalk left doesn't work at all. Okay, next 2-2 string, or the extension 2-2-1-2. The first hit can be sidestepped right. To avoid 2 or more hits, you need to sidewalk right. However, the timing might cause some trouble and the second hit might still hit you while you sidewalk. So yeah, but I have a small trick for you guys which will help to avoid this problem. But I will go in detail on this after we go through all the moves. So yeah. And next we have down forward 2, the launcher, not punishable. It's extremely hard to sidestep either way, but however it's easy to sidewalk right. So that's what you're gonna do, sidewalk right. Yeah, another highly abused move, 4 or magic 4 or string 4-3. Yeah, you can sidestep the first hit either way, but it's impossible to sidewalk the second hit left. So yeah, you need to sidewalk right to avoid both hits. That's pretty much it. It can be extended to DSS stance, but yeah, you want to punish that as fast as possible. I mean, you sidewalk the second hit and launch punish. Or if your reaction is good enough, you can duck the second hit and launch punish as well. That's up to you. Now for low poke, down back 3. It's impossible to sidestep either way, that one. It's possible to go sidewalk left, but yeah, basically if you're going right, as we advise, you will get hit by this, and it's +3 on hit for loss. So do not try to attack if you get hit by this. It's not like most of low attacks that you have 0 or a disadvantage for the attacker. it's actually +3 on it, so try to backdash to avoid more pressure. Now a high-low poke, UF1, 3. Not much to say about this one. You can sidestep right, works fine. Sidestep and lunge punish, that's all. Yeah, pretty much it. Not much strategy needed here. Now a low mid poke, down 1, 3. Yeah, you cannot sidestep this at all, but sidewalk in both ways works fine. And yeah, that's another argument to use the magical trick, which I'm gonna talk about in a moment. So yeah, sidewalk works fine for this. Now next move, forward +1 +2. Now sidestep both ways work, sidewalking as well. But on block, La can continue with the pressure, as this one is +1 on block for La. It's +1 frame advantage. I mean, this move most likely you won't see it just after a punch or wherever. It's too slow, but most law players just do it after you quick roll or something, so they are pretty sure that you will block it, and yeah, I will not throw it just out of nowhere. So you need to be careful. If you block it, law can continue the pressure. Now let's go through some of the wall standing options. So after you block forward 1 +2, most likely we'll have to deal with some of this wall standing options, and the first is wall standing 1 2. Yeah, for this one you can sidewalk right. However, it's ultra hard to sidewalk this after blocking forward +1 +2 when you play on the left side, because you end up in a crouch position, and where you're on the left side, that means you will have to sidestep pressing down button, and that's barely. I think it's impossible actually. So to sidewalk right, you have to be on the right side after blocking forward 1 +2. So that's kind of tricky. But I'll get to that. But I will get to that in a moment. Now his next while standing option is while standing 4. It is possible to sidewalk right, but only when you have some distance applied, so not in a very close range. And after blocking forward 1 +2, it's only possible to sidewalk this when you play on the right side, again, because you end up in a crouch position, so that's also really hard. And one more while standing option is while standing 2. A launcher with a very good range. You can sidewalk left. So if we take a look at the while standing options, the while standing 4 is really hard to sidestep either way. While standing 1 2 cannot be sidestepped left, and while standing 2 cannot be sidestepped right. So the conclusion is that it's better not to sidestep at all when La is in crouching. I mean, when it's crouching in your face. What I suggest to do after blocking forward 1 +2, for example, is one deep backdash. After you backdash and block the while standing mid, you create some space between you and La. So if the while standing attack is, for example, while standing 4 into the SS, you can force a whiff by backdashing. You can backdash once deeply and then backdash again. And look what happens when you do not backdash. And now what happens if you do a backdash. While crouching, La can always do the slide, but that's a high risk and low reward move, so you shouldn't really go blocking low randomly too often, as it's way worse to get hit by while standing 2 and lose half of your health bar. And by the way, while standing 2 is a lunge punishable on block. Do not forget this about this, guys. I mean, because if law player notices that he can simply abuse while standing 2, because you don't punish it at all, you will just lose. If you don't have a launcher with proper range, at least punish with some pokes, so he knows he cannot abuse that. Okay, now guys, let's go through the easy sidestep options. I mean the strings which you can sidestep one of the hits in between. The first one is back 1 1 2. You can sidestep the last hit both ways actually, and it's not that hard. Now another one is down back 2 4. Well, that string is not so popular, but once in a while you will see it going off. So yeah, you can sidestep the second hit left. And it's also possible to float the character with punches, but yeah, it's quite hard to anticipate that, so I wouldn't go for it. I mean, you can sidestep left the second hit, but you will only get the grounded hit afterwards, so not much, but it's always something. It's good to know. Now this one is last of the easy sidestep which I have for you guys, and also first of the back turn position move. So that's back turn 4-3, high mid string. You can sidestep that left, works fine. You need to sidewalk to avoid the second hit. It's not a natural combo, so you can still afford to step right and even get hit by the first hit, but you can still block the second one. It's -12 on block, so you can easily punish that with some pokes. And the easy sidestep for that is if you block the first hit, the second hit can be sidestep right. So if your reaction is good enough, you can block the high and sidestep right the second hit. Okay, another back turned option is down 4. Actually, the most scary of his option. It's a low launcher. You need to be very careful with that one. Only the sidewalk right works constantly in a close range. So that's what you're gonna do to deal that. If you cannot block it on reaction, sidewalk right. Okay, another back turned option is back turn 2-2. It's very hard to sidewalk that one. However, it's possible to go right. In most cases, you will need to block the second hit. If La execute 2 hits, you need to block the second hit, even if you're almost at the back of at his back. I mean, it has a real weird property, so you need to block it still. But it's launch punishable, so it's not a big deal. You can still launch punish even if you have to block that. You also see Law players doing back turned UF4 as a mix-up for the down 4. I mean, it's a back turned hop kick, basically. It has a poor range, actually, and it's easy to sidewalk right. So you can or just backdash or just go right. I wouldn't suggest to mix up things. So yeah, sidewalking right is fine for that. Okay, now let's talk about some specific strategies which are useful while facing Claw. The first and most important thing is you can't really go crazy with sidestepping all the time. You actually should to go for the mind game with your opponent to try to test him and see what will he actually do and how will he react on your actions. I mean, if you see that he quickly switches to back 4 options just to disable your sidestep, immediately show him that you know that how to deal with that shit as well. I mean, you should practice ducking under back 4-3. If he throws that out to catch you while sidestepping, you need to be ready for that, you know. Just duck the second hit and launch him so he stops doing it. And if you actually block the back 4 and he stays in back turn position, you can always interrupt his options with well-timed down 1. I mean, a 10 frame low punch in general. But just keep that in mind, that you need to be very precise on that to always interrupt all the options. But it's worth it. I mean, it's even possible to interrupt the back turned hop kick. Yeah, so that's the biggest biggest mix-up: the back turn hop kick and then down 4. Yeah, so now you know what to do. But however, if you cannot manage to duck the back 4-3, you can always just go for down 1 after you block the back 4. I mean, you can react on that. Just do not try to see if the 3 extension goes after back 4 or no. You can just always go for down 1. You will interrupt the 3 extension if it goes, and you will also interrupt all the back turned options. So that's good enough, you know. And same actually goes to 2-2. If you block that string, if you block 2-2, yeah, you don't need to go guess sidestepping or whatever. You can just interrupt all the best options with well-timed down back 1. I mean down 1, the low jab. Same here, even the back turned hop kick or down 4 or wherever. Just as long as you block the 2-2 string. And yeah, it's a bit of a different story if you get hit by 2-2. Yeah, that will also happen, believe me. Yeah, if you get hit, you can't really sidestep much. It's impossible to sidestep down 4, and it's ultra hard to sidestep the other options. So yeah, what I found is the best option is to just deep backdash and fuzzy guard low to block the eventual down 4. I mean, you know. If you backdash properly, you will avoid or block all the mid-high options, and you have still enough time to block the down 4. I mean, down 4 has lots of range, so you cannot really backdash that. But it's kind of slow, so you have enough time to backdash and fuzzy guard low. So yeah, that's the best. I think that's the best option to do if you get hit by 2-2. I mean that technique, it's not easy to master this, but it will help you a lot if you do it right, believe me. And what happens if you get hit by back 4 and last stage back turn? There are actually 2 scenarios I see. If you get hit on axis, I mean, so standing directly in front of Law, you're in trouble, because you will need to guess, I mean, or react if you're really good at it. You cannot sidestep most of Law's being turned options. You can't really backdash anything. So I would suggest to just block and put all the effort you can in reacting on down 4 for a successful block if it goes. And the other scenario, a bit more optimistic, is that you've been hit during the sidestep right. During the sidestep. In this case, you can do a deep backdash and a fuzzy guard low for a successful down 4 block. In this case, you can actually backdash the back turn throw or a back turn hop kick. Plus, there is still some time to fuzzy guard the down 4. And then here, same like with getting hit by 2-2 string. This defensive option is really hard to master, but yeah, it's worth it. Okay, so if you get really good at dealing with the back turned options, and the guy noticed that constantly going for back 4 is doing no good for him, he might just switch to spamming mode again. I mean, yeah, if he does that, if he starts to spam pokes and magic 4s and shit, you can use a small trick to evade multi-hit strings. Yeah, those often hit the side walking character, I mean the second hit of it. It's not really a big deal, but you can just do that whenever you want to sidewalk, so why not? Instead of just sidewalking, start the sidewalk and instantly cancel it into the single sidestep. It's not really hard to execute and works perfectly against strings like 2-2 or 4-3. I wouldn't even bother mentioning that, but actually those 2 strings are used so often by law players that it becomes really handy against the rushing marshal or forest, you know. They just do it a lot, so and when you sidewalk you will most likely get a hit or you will block the second hit, so they can still continue to do with the pressure, so that's not what we are going for. Just guys, please remember that all these so-called strategies and ideas are not meant to be repeated over and over. I mean, if your opponent notices that you're doing the same thing all the time, he will just use that against you. This whole guide is for you to know how to handle the offense, because if you don't know, you might not even get the chance to learn anything from a lost fight. Alright guys, that's it for this chapter. I hope you guys feel more confident about playing against lost spammers now. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Remember to let me know what is the next character you would like to see in this guide. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe my channel, so at least I know that you guys are actually interested in this guide. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so just stay tuned for the next chapter and see you guys.